Safdar Hashmi, classic social transformer. If anybody, the youth in India should follow, it's him. Inqilab Zindabad. Mobilized trade unions with simple street plays and was killed because of that. You'll be wondering why I'm telling you about all cases who are being killed. No, I'm not asking you to get killed. What I'm saying is, you need to take a stand. Here was a man, the trade unions were like, what is this guy talking about? Nonsense. Street plays se kaise badlav laaye? But he brought a change. The trade unions started getting feared because of this man. And because of that he lost his life, because he was getting too powerful. Not powerful because he wanted power, powerful because he wanted something good for the community. His sister is a very good friend of mine today. I've never met him. But a classic case of a social transformer. People you should follow as young adults, and people you should follow as business people and everybody else. The ethics of everything. The ethics of being a good citizen. I'm sure all of you know him at least. Martin Luther King. History will have to record that the greatest tragedy of this period of social transition was not the strident clamor of the bad people. There are various bad people in society. You need to address it. But the appalling silence of the good people. When we stay silent, when there's a culture of silence, you're as much a part of the crime as the guys who are doing the crime. Never forget that. Okay? So please remember that as youngsters, that when you see something wrong happening, address it in your own small way. Do something about it. Don't say, what can I do about it? Say, I can do something about it. Let me just write about it. Let me form a blog about it. Today with internet, there's so much you can do. And Martin Luther King's famous quote, I submit to you that if a man hasn't discovered something he will die for, he isn't fit to live. Again, I'm not asking you to die, but do something about it. How many of you know this man? I deliberately used the picture without his classic hat, because I said, let me see how many people know him. The aim of life is no more, I'm just kind of creating a thought process as to what the youth should follow, because 55%, knowing that 55% of the population is young is good. But what can become a boon can also become a curse. That's what the demographic dividend is all about. What can be an advantage can be a huge disadvantage if we don't pull up our socks now. Yeah? Don't forget that. There are various debates on demographic dividend on the net. Read through it. The aim of life is no more to control the mind but to develop it harmoniously. Not to achieve salvation hereafter, but to make the best use of it here below. Not to realize truth, and not to realize truth, beauty and good only in contemplation, but also in the actual experience of daily life. Social progress depends not upon the ennoblement of the few, but on the enrichment of democracy. Universal brotherhood can be achieved only when there is an equality of opportunity in the social, political and individual life. 80% of people in our India shining, my friends, don't have dignity, they don't have food, they don't have water. They are being deprived of their lands in the name of SEZ. There is a culture in the country to kill the agrarian economy because SEZ and industrialization, we are just mindlessly following paper money. So we need to think about those 80% of the people who have no opportunity. It scares me when I hear people saying, they see a beggar on the street and they say, when you see a drug user on the street, oh, good for nothing. What is he doing in my city? And I often tell them, I say, well, it's like this. I come from Goa. I grew up in Bombay. I now live in Delhi. What makes this my city? I have come in search of livelihood. It's only that I've had an opportunity in life. That man out there has had no opportunity in life. Because of which is a drug user. Because all he gets is victimized. He does his rag picking through the day. So have you seen what is affecting him? Have you tried to bother that, this man also belongs to a family somewhere in rural India, has been deprived of his land, has been deprived of the natural resources with which he could do agriculture, and has come and become a rag picker in your city? He keeps your city clean. Why don't you see the man with a different perspective? We work in a place called Kamatipura in Bombay. That's a project which we've taken. We've got 100% of the children in school. Kamatipura is the biggest red light district in Bombay. Sex workers who come from Darjeeling, Nepal, Bihar, UP and all over. did the annual Balak Divas in December on 21st, and I was happy to see that there were children who had become doctors and engineers, you know. We just got associated with the project around a year ago. Now society does not want to give them a chance to transform. They want to see them as people who belong to that community. The point is, why do you look at a sex worker as a bad woman? It's not that a sex worker who sleeps with people for 10 rupees a day enjoys it. She's not a bad woman. She's doing it because of circumstances. If my mother had no opportunity to feed me, she would have probably done sex work, and so would a lot of other mothers over here. Because to feed your children is the biggest thing. So why don't you see that woman as a mother? Why do you see her as a bad woman? The blinkers we live with in society. And you don't want to let their children also get out of it. Because you want to categorize them as, oh, the people belong to that community. But they have become engineers. They have become doctors. So what's wrong? So these are the blinkers we need to get rid of and start looking at dignity for people at large. Not just have this, other India and our India kind of thing, which shows in Bombay and Delhi. Our India. When a terror attack happens, we wake up. Nobody woke up when the Gujarat program happened. Nobody woke up when the Kashmiri Pandits were being affected. Nobody woke up with all the violence in Northeast. They were not affecting us. It was not touching me. One Taj in the gateway of India happened and everybody woke up. Woke up for also for 1 month or 2 months. The same guys they got out of office are in power today with more powerful portfolios, be it Vilasrao Deshmukh or Chhagan Bhujbal or whoever. So it's not that you need to wake up every time. The mantra is jaagte raho, ask for accountability every day, sustainability every day. I'm confident that my death will do more to smash the British Empire than my release. This were his last words to his father. When his father told him, I've worked out everything for your release, he said, no, I prefer to die. That was the man's sacrifice. 23 years old. That was the man's sacrifice. His death brought about a transformation. Same family. We are sorry to admit that we who attach so great a sanctity to human life, a dream of a glorious future when man will be enjoying perfect peace and full liberty, have been forced to shed human blood. But the sacrifice of individuals at the altar of the great revolution that will bring freedom to all, rendering the exploitation of man by man impossible, is inevitable. Long live the revolution. A lot of people think anarchism is a bad thing, that it's lawless, it's like disorder, but this is the true meaning of anarchism. Anarchism means absence of ruler and abolition of state, not absence of rule. I think in India the idea of universal brotherhood, the Sanskrit sentence, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, etc. have the same meaning. Oneness. Yeah. Now these are three people who embraced the gallows. Real youth social transformers. Not too many people followed them until and unless the movie called Bhagat Singh was made. 2-3 guys made the movie together. But, and I think recently, till very recently, around 3 or 4 years ago is when they were declared as not terrorists. So, another man, Chandrasekhar Azad, if yet your blood does not rage, then it is water that flows in your veins. For what is the flush of youth if it is not service to the motherland? Transformers. Whatever you do, you may become a banker, you may start working in a corporate, you may start working with NDTV and the media. Whatever you do, you need to understand that you as a young adult and a citizen have a responsibility towards your state, your motherland if you may call it. How many of you know this man? Put your hands up. Yes? Okay, good. If you tremble in indignation at every injustice, then you are a comrade of mine. Doctor by training, guerrilla militant by choice, by vocation. Never fought for his own motherland, fought for somebody else's country. Cuba was not even his country, he was from Argentina. But because he believed that humankind requires service. And like George Bernard Shaw says, democracy is a device that ensures that we shall be governed no better than we deserve. What this basically means is, don't forget your responsibility as a citizen. Failing which, don't blame anybody, you don't have the right. Because you've not done your responsibility. Yeah? Subhash Chandra Bose. One individual may die for an idea, but that idea will after his death incarnate itself in 1,000 lives. That is how the wheel of evolution for our near and dear ones. We need to do that also. But we also have a greater purpose in life. Karma teaches you that. Gita teaches it. Something good